Hey there, Hillsiders. Last week I talked to you a little bit about love and the love, acceptance, and forgiveness. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about acceptance. When I was 10, my family moved from Plum Lane out to Valley View Drive in Golden Valley. And one of the things that came along with that move was I ended up switching schools, and I was the new guy. It was a couple days after school had already started, and so I can remember being dropped off in the class and looking for a desk to sit at, and can't really find anything. And really, I navigated through school okay, but the hardest part for me was recess. What are you going to do at recess at a new school when you don't know anyone? Well, I was waiting for someone to invite me to come and play, and there was some kids playing football. And I remember one kid named Jeremy, when I went over and asked if I could play, said, "No, you're new. You probably suck," and told me to leave. And so I just kind of went and sat down. And pretty soon there was three girls, Karen, Waynia, and Heather. And they asked me to come and play hopscotch with them. And I got to tell you, I'm not much of a hopscotch guy, but they included me at a time when I knew no one else really in the entire world, it seemed like. They invited me to come and to sit and to actually to hop with them. And I learned all sorts of mad hopscotch skills. I did this for about 3 or 4 days. And I can remember the day. It wasn't that I didn't like these people. It's just hopscotch was not my jam. But I was willing to go and hang out with these people, these ladies, in fifth grade because they included me and they accepted me and they received me. Even though it got to the point where it's like, I could tell at some point, they're like, he's really starting to push the boundaries of what our normal hopscotch routines are. Anyway, I was doing my hopscotch routine, jumping down, and you on one foot, and you could pick up the little placeholder. We used marbles or rocks, and I remember this kid came over, and his name was Tommy, and he says, "So, do you want to keep playing hopscotch, or you want to hang out?" And I turned and looked to the girls, and I said, "I'm gonna go hang out with Tommy now, but thank you for playing." And we went and hung out. And it turns out Tommy was a guy who just saw that I was hopscotching and saw that probably wasn't my jam. I was not a professional. Let's just put it that way. And he risked and he extended himself and he invited me to spend time with him. And that guy became my best friend in elementary school, in junior high, in high school, and he was even the best man at my wedding. And it all started that day when he said, "Hey, do you want to come hang out?" And we went and sat on the swings, and we ended up on baseball teams together later. But the whole point was he extended himself to me at a spot where I could not do anything to make myself be a part of something. I was just the new guy and playing hopscotch, and he said, "Do you want to come hang out?" And something really interesting happened as well. Because I was hanging out with Tommy, and because Tommy was accepted and loved and cared for by the people who attended that school, pretty soon I was accepted and I belonged because Tommy had received me. And it was an incredible gift that he gave me that day because it was not something I could have done for myself. Again, he brought me in. And it is one of those things I think about when I think about what acceptance is. Acceptance is not agreement. What it is it's a gift of significance. It's saying you matter and you belong, and just because we're not the same doesn't mean that you can't be received and can't be cared for and can't be treated with dignity and respect. And it's one of those things, too, it reminds me of Ephesians chapter 5 in the King James translation. It talks about how in Jesus Christ we have been accepted in him and in the beloved. And so in some ways, when God looks at us, what he actually sees is what Christ has done on our behalf. And we are received and accepted into the family of God just as we are. And yes, the Holy Spirit's going to work to transform us, but we're received just as we are because of Christ. Because we've been accepted by him, we are then accepted by the Father. This is an example that we all have the opportunity to follow in how we interact with people, not waiting until we have, 85 points of agreement with them on whether or not we can hang out, but extending dignity and significance and respect to individuals, even when, or especially when, we have a difference of opinion. Acceptance is a very powerful thing that as a church family, I'm hoping we are able to continue to offer to anyone who walks through our doors, and that the bar that people have to step over is incredibly low in order to step into relationship both with Jesus and with people who call upon his name. So think about that for a little bit. Hopefully something in there stands out to you. God bless you. And I got to say, thanks, Tommy. I appreciate it. You changed my life.